So, how the mind works and therapy. Our website is www.incredible-me.co.uk, and we're hoping to have some people on the call in a minute. So far, been unsuccessful. Please let me know when you're there. Anybody there? Just write a message. So far, been useless.
Hello.
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 Last.
Finally got you.
How are you?
Right, bear with me while I just link this to my husband so my husband can do it as well.
Cool.
Right. Can you not copy this then?
Can you send me a link?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good.
Sounds really good, actually.
Oh, good. Must be this.
Right, I'm just sending the link to my husband now. So.
He's not in the same room then.
Yeah, we are actually, but we're on different computers.
Fair enough.
the joys of computers, eh?
Oh yeah. Means that you can talk to each other without being actually talking to each other.
Yeah, and we actually talk more via. Right, I've sent it you. Got it. You click on it, and it'll come up install. Yeah. We're nearly there, hon. Sorry about this.
No problem.
Glorious sunny evening here. Don't know what it's like down by you.
Lovely blue sky.
Yeah, nice. It's been so hot today.
Really nice. Just planted some trees, so
Oh, that's nice.
fruit trees.
The sun is like just bouncing off the window just across the road from me, so it's like glaring in my face at the moment. Are you in? Right, my husband's there now as well. You should see him.
Nothing?
No?
Not yet. What?
You in it?
Ah, yes. Zerakil?
That's right, yeah, we're both there now.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
I have pen in hand, I'm ready.
So, right, let's start off. So, we've got a brain.
Yep.
We've got a body, and we see through our eyes, and we hear through our ears, and we sense through our hands, skin, ears, everywhere really, hair, you name it, we sense through it. But what happens is we start off in life as blank, really. We start off in life, and in psychology we call it the imprint period. So during that period we soak everything up like a sponge. It's from the age of 0 to 7, we don't have a conscious thought. Don't really have an argumentative bone in our body because we've got nothing to argue about. We've got no sense of what's right or wrong or good or bad or anything else. We have to learn it, which means we're conditioned, we're programmed. We take in every part of our parents, if it's the parent between 0 to 7 that are looking after us, as our world. That's pretty much the only world we know, and we get little bits of it from school teachers and everything else, but we hope that they've got a decent enough value set. But essentially, we see the world as it is. We've got no other way of judging it apart from that. But if we go back a little bit further into the womb, we are already taking on preconditions within the womb. So if your mother was stressed out during the second and third trimester, you're more likely to have an addicted personality because of that, because of the stress hormones and stuff that are being sent into your system, into your DNA to code who you are. Because at the point where you took on your chromosomes and everything else, it encoded in you one of the best parts, but it also encoded in you that the outside environment was not as nice as what it could be. So it allowed you to sort of take on board just in case. And the reason why they knew of it was because during the Second World War, they tested a lot of women who were pregnant in a Dutch town. The Germans literally just starved them. And the babies were born, but what happens, all of the babies they took on the environment outside, they measured it, and their DNA and their chromosomes changed to allow every single bit of sugar and fat and everything else just to be used up, to be absorbed into the body to the nth degree. And that's how it works. So essentially what we're saying is we condition ourselves along the way via environment or via teaching and so on and so forth. Everything we do is conditioned. And if you don't think that's true, then we learn how to drive a car. And at the beginning, we're rubbish. And then we train ourselves. And then at the point where we can do it, our body just, our brain, subconscious goes, I can take that from you. So you don't pay so much attention. And I can do it as a motor skill. And it becomes habit. So to form a habit takes about 30 days. Continuously trying to do something. If you do it not very well, you create a not very good habit. If you create a habit of smoking, you smoke. If you don't create a habit of smoking, you have a habit of not smoking.
You're talking about creating the neural pathways, aren't you, really? That's what
The neural pathways are linked to everything. That includes emotion and so on and so forth. There's a neural link to every emotion and thought that we ever do. Mainly emotions are stored in your subconscious. The subconscious holds them like time. There's no time in your subconscious. So when you have the same emotion happens, like a panic attack, it feels like a wall of emotion comes back because it just links every single thing like that and then brings it all back all at once, and as it hits you like a sledgehammer. That's what happens. The neural links in there. So the best way to get rid of the therapy that I do is like a timeline therapy. So go back along the timeline, disconnect the neural links via without setting. So you're kind of above it, high enough so there's no link to emotion. It's emotion that creates.
Is that cognitive behavioural therapy or not?
No.
No.
Cognitive behavioural therapy is literally dipping you in, dipping you out, dipping you in, dipping you out of the same thing all the time. Realistically, what you want to do is get to the point where you were able to create the anxiety in the first place. So at the first point of anxiety that you ever had, you want to get rid of anxiety. Not like little bits of it along the way. It will take you 10 times as long. So get rid of the first point of anxiety and you forget how to create anxiety. That's the best way to do it. That's what I've found. So once you sever the neural link to anxiety, the first one ever, your brain literally just stops every single neural link to anxiety that you've got up until now. It just cleans the whole lot out. Because that was the first point that you ever made, anxiety. And generally we can't remember that far back, but our subconscious knows where it is, and it will take us there when you realise that. But I digress. So we create these issues, and the way we create issues is there has to be an emotive charge to it. The things that have happened to you in the past, where you haven't created that emotive charge, you let go of easy. Yeah? The things that you have put an emotion to, you've dragged with you, and it's become you, and you've held on to it, and it's now a burning hot coal that is burning you, and you can't let it go because it's too close. It's got that charge that connects and brings it along as you are. You want to go with this?
Yeah.
So name one of the things that's happened to you that you can think of straight away that is harmful. That's happened.
Flashbacks of childhood trauma and things like that. Childhood trauma and just mental abuse.
Okay.
Really.
You're feeling that there, aren't you? The emotion.
Yeah.
And it's pretty close. It's like it's just happened.
Yeah.
Quite raw, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you've got is a connective charge. There's energy. What happened is during those things you created like a magnetic pull, and have now become the entity that you created. See what that is. So your brain is going, I am trauma. I am the event that it happened. But you're not. You know that you're not that event. You're like 3 trillion cells, you're 100,000 DNA strands, you're RNA strands, you're atoms, you're everything. You're not the event. But your mind is continuously pulling forward the event and everything that you ever thought you were. But you're not 18 anymore, right? Maybe 19, 20. But you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You're not any of them.
No.
Which essentially you're not anything. You are the sum of all your thoughts, deeds and actions, but nothing else. So what does that make you? The hardest part of that is that people think, well, I am this because it's who I am. Why would you choose to be that? You could choose to be anything else. Why would you choose to be a specific event to define your life? Because you've done so many other wonderful things in your life, but why choose a negative to define you? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you could choose any one of your traits to define who you are, which one would it be?
I think one of my traits would be that I'm empathic towards other people. I kind of pick up what they feel a lot of the time.
How do you pick up what they feel?
I don't know. I just kind of sense it. It's just kind of like a sixth sense or something.
So we've only got 5 senses, apparently. How can it be a sixth? Do you see, a lot of people, scientists can only measure that we've got receptors to touch, taste, feel, smell, all that sort of stuff. The sixth sense empathy is telepathic. It's in everybody.
Don't get me going on senses. I watch QI.
There's many more than what people.
Yes.
Like I said, you've even got senses in your head. So, the sense that you're talking about there is of empathy is that you get it. It's a knowing feeling, isn't it? It's just knowing. And we are magnetic of nature, and we pulse out our magnetic energy field, and that's what we read. On a different note, we enter into a conscious field, which is another conversation altogether. So back to therapy. How do you start off on therapy? Well, let's tell you what therapy is. We've gained our issues and we brought them along with us, and at a certain point our mind goes, can you deal with it? And then we ignore it and go, shh, be quiet. And then too busy being annoyed or angry or depressed. And then he goes, look, please deal with this issue, and then we can move you on. And you go, shh, be quiet, be busy. And he goes, right, all at once, and it hits. And then you panic, too much air in your system because you're hyperventilating, and you liken it to the event that you just had or where you've been or something like that, and it puts you into another issue pot that you've got to apply onto the rest of them.
Are you describing a panic attack then? Yeah.
That's a panic attack, but then we link it again neurologically to the things that we've done or how we've been or something like that. To get out of panic attacks, to never have a panic attack again, all you have to do is gain control over your mind. And I say all you have to do is gain control over your mind. It's probably the hardest thing that you'll ever do in life, but it's also the best thing you'll ever do. Because the only thing that sees the world the way it is your mind. So if you gain control of your mind, then you can have any thought that you ever want. You'd never choose to have depression, would you? Because that's a mind issue. You'd never choose to have a negative thought, would you? And if a negative thought come in and you had control of it and you go, well, this is my mind, get out. So one of the questions I ask in some seminars is, who's driving the bus? I.e., who's in control of your mind? Because if it's not you, then who is it?
Well, that's the eternal question.
Well,
I also wonder whether my mind and my emotions seem to be two entirely separate things. And while one of them might be in order, the other one isn't, and they might both be out of working order, like they feel at the moment.
And they're always working. It's a universal law of the universe. Your mind actually doesn't stop working. It goes to sleep when you sleep. When you dream, it's still working. It's on a different beta level. And when you're awake, it's always working. It's having every thought that you ever wanted, and every thought that you didn't know that you ever wanted. Essentially, it's like this, and I'll go with this analogy. So, a farmer's got a field, right? It's there, it's ready to plant seeds. Now, bear in mind, for the purpose of this story, your mind is the field, because the field doesn't care what you plant, right? Doesn't. The field will give you back what you plant, correct?
Yeah.
So, you, the farmer, behind the fork, comes up with two seeds. One is corn, nice and positive, will grow lovely and you can eat it. And the other one could be nightshade, which is a deadly poison. So I make 2 holes in the field, put the seed in, cover it up, water it, tend to the field. What will grow?
The nightshade.
Just the nightshade?
Well, both of them will, but they'll be intertwined, surely.
The field doesn't care. The field really doesn't care what you plant, but it will give you it back in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind is the same. Every thought that you have.
Because I find that my mind produces random thoughts. So using the same analogy,
yeah.
My mind produces weeds. Seeds that have been blown there by the wind.
The problem with our mind is we actually forget when we planted the seeds. We actually forget when we had a thought that bring it up. Your mind will bring back in abundance every thought you ever had, every seed you ever put into it. There's nobody else. There's nobody else that's controlling your mind. It's just you. But the problem is, if you're not in control, it will just you don't notice what thoughts you're having. That's the difficulty of controlling your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's how you stop the process. Here's how you get involved. You now have to look at your mind and see what it's doing. Ready to do it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we need to do is just close your eyes for a second. And just breathe through your nose. Nice and deep and relaxed. And just get in touch with your breathing. Just do it at your pace, in and out. What's relaxing to you. And as you do so, start to notice where your breathing is, whether it be in your nose, in your throat, or in your chest. And you'll notice there's a specific point where your breathing touches you. And as you do so, just focus intently on that point. And just concentrate on it for a moment. And notice how relaxed you become as you...
Sorry, at what point am I meant to be noticing?
What you do is, as you breathe in through your nose, you feel a certain place where your breath is catching, whether it be in your chest, in your nose, or in your throat. And as you do, just focus on that point as you do. And while you're doing this, I want you to bring your thoughts to mind. I want you to separate a separate part of your mind. And just watch the thoughts that are in there. Don't join in with the thoughts. Don't do anything. And just notice thoughts that you're having. And when you're ready, just jump on one of the thoughts and see where it takes you for a second. In 10 seconds. Restart, so you end up. And then just open your eyes and come back into the room. What thoughts did you see?
I saw a bus with a lot of people on it, and it's quite crowded. It felt quite crowded on the bus, and so everything was coming in at me.
Okay.
So,
yeah. And how about you? You've got Zeraki on there, but sorry,
David.
Oh, David.
That's just my login name. Don't ask. I was thinking about the thoughts I've been having trouble with in work. About the problems I've had with people in work. Problems I've been having with actually the work itself.
Did you want them thoughts?
I'm not sure, because I wanted to see them in the context of the relaxed state that we're in.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how I would react to them.
And how was it?
It was okay. It was, the panic was much less.
Okay.
The stress was much less.
So here's a way to, I know that we're digressing a little bit, but there's a way to deal with people. What do people think of you?
What do people think of me?
Yeah.
Don't know, difficult to get on with.
Are you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I can be. Depends on what mood I'm in.
Oh. So which mood are you in control of your mood?
No.
Ah. Wow.
I suffer deeply from depression and anxiety, and as my mood, I suffer from massive mood swings, and some days I can be really, really happy, and other days I could be absolutely in the depths of despair.
Are you on medication?
Yes.
There's your mood swing.
No, the medication doesn't give me mood swings. Medication is trying to take the stop the depths from being as deep. I'm on citalopram. You probably know these anyway, so I wouldn't need to tell you what they are. I'm on citalopram and mirtazapine for depression, and today I've been put on beta blockers for anxiety and stress.
So there's tablets get people out of depression over a long course of time, essentially eventually. The problem is you'll get out of depression eventually anyway. So being depressed is down here. You wouldn't have a mood swing being depressed because you're depressed. There is no mood apart from depressed. So you've got a tablet that kind of is dumbing down your senses and allowing you to forget about the depression that you're thinking about for a little while, and you go up and then you just crash back down.
Well, to be fair, it regulates the serotonin. One of the obviously the serotonin is the main mood altering or mood controlling hormone in our bodies. The other being melatonin, I believe, which is also linked to sleep. But so citalopram stops my body from reabsorbing it too quickly, and mirtazapine boosts its production.
So do you want to know the main thing in your body that actually regulates your mood? Your mind. It's the alchemy. It's the chemist in your body it will give you whatever mood you want. The difficulty is, while you're on tablets, you can't choose the mood that you want. And I'm not going to say come off of tablets or go on the tablets or whatever, but the problem is, if you're to get out of depression, a tablet won't get you out of depression, because depression is what you've talked yourself into being. Because of the way that the only way you can go into depression is to become what you think, and thinking too much inwardly about yourself brings depression. And the chemicals that your brain is giving off because of the environment that was created cause depression.
Is that neuro-linguistic programming? Is that what it's called?
Everything's neuro-linguistic programming. What we say to ourselves is how we program, because actually every voice that we ever hear inside our head is our own. And the way that, and the context of the words that we put into our brain is what we become. So if you don't think about what you become, you won't know what you're going to be. And another great analogy is that you got a boat, you got a ship in a harbour, and it's got a captain and crew, and it knows where it starts, it knows where it's going, and 9,999 times out of 10,000 it'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Take away the captain and the crew, start the engine. If the boat gets out of the harbour, we'll be bloody lucky. Okay? If it crashes against the rocks, you'll probably go, yeah, it didn't have a captain and crew. If you're not in control of your mind, that's where it's going to go. It's going to end up crashing against the rocks. But we're never given control, we're never given the key to control our mind. You started it today by looking at what your mind is doing. Now the next part is getting interactive. Starting saying to yourself, actually, I want to create a new habit. And the habit that I'm in at the moment is depression. It's a mind habit. It creates very quickly. But really what you want to do is start. And it's hard work. And you'll fall down and you'll get up and you'll fall down and get up and fall down and get up. But every time you get up, you're creating a new habit. You're creating a new mind habit to way to think. That's it. The other way is stop thinking about yourself. And a Buddhist will tell you, you want a surefire way of getting out of depression? Think about something else. Because the only thing a depressed person is thinking about is himself. I guarantee it. You can't think of anyone else. And the worst person to think about is you. Because all you're doing is going into the dark, deepest corners and recesses of your mind, and it's not nice. You're finding demons everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tablets...
It's learning how to control your mind, though.
Yes.
So learning how to control your mind, in my opinion, is like trying to learn how to hold smoke. You can't do it. It just suddenly gets out of your grasp.
Well, you can't do it at the moment, and you definitely can't do it if you say you can't do it. But what you're doing is doing something that you've never done. And how many times in your life have you done something you've never done but now can do it?
Fair point.
Always. Everything you set your mind to, you've become, right? Every time you've ever wanted something, you've become that thing that you've wanted. Did it just happen by luck?
No.
So it happened by thought. It happened by focusing the one thing in your anatomy that can get what you want, your mind. You set yourself a target and you reach that target, right?
So really, if you put your mind to anything, you can do anything?
Yes. Absolutely, but it's got to be realistic. If you're going to say, I'm going to be a concert violinist, you're not going to be the best one in the world because you have to start at 3 years old. Get the micro muscle movements going. If you're saying that you want to be an astronaut, how many astronauts are there? And are you in the right place? Do you really want to be an astronaut? You know, that sort of thing. But realistically, if you want to be anything else, you could be a doctor. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's going to take 7 years of doctor school, and you've probably got to get a college degree to go before it, but your mind could do it. But you've got to deem it worthy enough first. You've got to have a compelling reason to point your mind in the direction of it first, and then go for it like nothing else.
Yeah.
But in your mind,
I struggle to keep the focus on something. I struggle to keep the focus on something for any length of time.
that does happen in depression anyway, because you've got too many other thoughts going on. But I can guarantee you, everybody, and that includes people who've hit the depths of depression and had to kill themselves multiple times and everything else, and have got lots of pain and lots of other symptoms and everything else. They always go on the same journey. At the start, it's the hardest thing ever. But what do you have to do? If you want to get from point A to point B, and you don't put one foot in front of the other, you'll never get to point B. It literally is moving your feet when all else is telling you stop. And just moving your feet every single day. Just taking that step, setting a goal, taking that step, and your mind will create what you put into it. It will.
What happens then if you're in a depressive state, but you're working in an environment that David's working in, where there's a lot of negativity, and you're having to come up against that negativity all the time, and surely it's almost like you're hitting a wall continuously against the negativity. You're not really getting anywhere, are you?
Can David change anyone else?
No,
Who can David change?
only himself.
So change David to not even bother seeing what those people say. Guess what? Here's the thing, right? Do you love your job?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure about this current position.
How long have you had your job?
This gets complicated. I've worked for the same company for about 20 months-ish. It'll be 2 years in September, so it'll take off so 21 months. And during that time I've had 4 different roles there, and I loved at least 2 of those, and until recently I've loved about a few months back, I've loved the job I'm on now, the department I'm on now, but it's got worse and worse, and so I'm not sure I love where I am anymore.
Okay. So, is it your calling? This job?
That's just it, I don't know. I don't know what my calling is, but I understand that's okay, because...
Not this then.
You're sorry?
When you know what you're meant to do, you'll just do it, and you'll love it, and it will be the making of you. But until then, it's just a job. And can you tell me that these people will keep you in the job for life?
No.
Or will they just get rid of you one day because they don't need you?
They'll probably get rid of me because they don't need me.
So who cares?
Well, I care, because obviously that I need to put food on the table for Emmy and Callie, and money to pay the bills. And
yeah, I get that, but really, don't care about the job to the point where you get stressed about it. It's just a job. It is just a job, and you've had multiple jobs.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just a job. Now, I've been in jobs before, and I used to work in London. I was a director of a company and things like big companies. And guess what? I used to give them everything. I used to give them every single part of me from noon till night, and sometimes all the way through the night. It doesn't really matter. A few years down the line, and you think, I don't even remember. I don't remember the people. I don't remember the jobs the specific things that were so in focus that I had to do. It really doesn't matter. Life goes by. So, what's your favourite TV program?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Right, okay. Tell me what happened in Series 3, Episode 7.
I have no idea.
Your favourite thing? Come on, tell me.
I've not seen that many. Well, that's not true. I've seen lots of them, but I've no idea what episode number they are when I watch them because I just see them on TV.
Tell me what happened in the series in the episode 5 episodes ago.
I don't know.
You don't know, and that's what I mean. The things that we think are so intrinsically linked to us mean nothing. The only things that we bring with us all the time is what we deem worthy of remembering, or what we stick an emotional charge on. So yes, your job, right? Okay, you need your job. Yes, you need money, but what you're essentially saying is you're enslaved to a company because they've got the power over to stop you from eating and living. That's not the best way to live, is it?
No. But then again, everyone's like that, aren't they? Everyone has to put in money from something.
Yeah, and so why? Let's get this straight then. Why are there so many depressed and unhappy people?
Oh God! If we knew that, then
I know the reason. There's a direct correlation between stress and depression. The rate of stress is going up at the same rate that depression is going up.
That makes sense.
So it's unhappiness. So here is the wonderful key of life. We have two emotions: love and fear. And everything in between is just a derivative of that.
Sorry about that.
That's
Love and fear.
I'll replay that one for you.
Okay.
We have two emotions: love and fear. And everything in between is either on the side of love or on the side of fear.
What about hate?
Hate is in fear.
Fair enough. I'm just trying to.
Give me another one, and I'll explain why. At a seminar I did the other day, some woman said to me, "What if I shout at my daughter and hit her because she nearly ran across the road?" I said, "I love her." I said, "Yeah, but you were fearful that she'd get hurt, so you went into fear and hit her out of love, but it's all fear. So now she's just going to be fearful." The trouble is, human beings degrade in fear. It's a really, really, really negative environment for ourselves and everything else. So you fear that you will lose your job.
Yeah.
You fear that you will be treated badly. And then, so what happens to you? Your every cell in your body is going low and slow and negative.
Yeah.
And a drug comes along and kind of mixes the environment a little bit. It changes the chemical balance that your mind is giving out, and it messes it up. That's the problem. There's a reason why so many people are getting unhappy, and so many people are on drugs, and so many people are still depressed and never get out of depression and are still unhappy on the drugs. Who does it benefit being on drugs? You or the
Drug company?
Absolutely.
This sounds like our discussion we were having the other day, doesn't it? When people were blaming the drug companies, saying, "Oh, somebody's got to be making the money somewhere along the line."
Have a look at who's the richest companies in the world, and then we'll start looking at the TV, start looking at the news, start looking at the things in a slightly different way. There's a reason why in America, of all places, the biggest killer of people is heart attacks, i.e. stress, and drugs, i.e. drugs from the drugs company, medical stuff. So your job...
Is that something to do with the diet and everything they need, though?
the diet.
Yeah, you know, the eating unhealthy food, not taking it, not
Yeah,
taking exercise, things like that.
Yeah, and your chemical balance that your mind has got is wrong. So there's a lot of information coming from me to you, but so I'm gonna skim over it lightly and answer your questions, but then give you some ways to start dealing with it. And you have to literally set little goals. Right now you're at the bottom, and your goal is to be up here, right?
Yeah.
Your goal is to get out of depression, and I would say your goal should be out of depression in 4 weeks. Agreed?
That'd be nice.
Okay. So are you willing to work hard at the things that I would say to do to get you out of depression?
Yeah.
So, first and foremost...
And anxiety and stress as well. I need rid of both of them. Or,
yeah.
Whether they're the same thing.
Let's get you empowered enough. So here's your life. There's, of course, actually being able to change your life and affect. Everything is happening to you. You're on the effect side.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed? Stuff's just happening to you. Now, life doesn't just happen. But it is happening to you because you're not driving the bus. So I am going to put you on the side of cause. But to do that, I need you to accept responsibility. So here's the thing. For people to say, I've got no control, means that you can't change it, right?
Yeah.
If you accept responsibility for everything that you are, everything that you're going to be, who has the control? It's
me.
Absolutely. But it's the toughest thing, isn't it? It's really hard to say it's all my fault.
Yeah.
But the best thing about saying it's all my fault is that who's the only one that can change it?
Me.
Absolutely. Now here's the thing about you mentioned this about people being horrible to your work.
Yeah.
Who cares? Can you ignore them?
It's difficult.
It is difficult because you're feeling low and you've got no barriers. So here's the thing about people. They're weak. They are really weak, and people who have to make other people feel really, really bad about themselves because they know that they're truly the shittiest people ever. Because they've got nothing. They've got nothing behind. They've got nothing behind them. And all you have to do is find one thing and they will crumble. But that's not who you... But why would you do that? Because then you'd go down, then you'd be as bad as them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You have to fake it till you make it. So people say stuff to you, you go, whatever. Really, who cares? And they're going to go try and up the ante, and you go, whatever. You can't bother me anymore, because guess what? I've taken back your power. Because the only person that can hurt you is somebody that you've given permission to hurt you. You know what that means? Every emotion is yours, correct? Nobody can just dip in and grab your emotions.
No, but I find that my emotions are very raw and very close to the surface, and I find them difficult to control.
But you will control them.
But don't people sense that? Wouldn't people sense that his emotions would be low, so that they would automatically go and pick?
But what did I say? Fake it till you make it. He's just got to say to people, I'm bringing the power back to me. Everything is mine. You can't give your emotions away. Otherwise, I'd be saying, give me all your bad emotions. Give me all your depression, and I'll take it. Come on. You can't, can you?
No.
Can't physically give it away. Can you buy love?
No.
Anywhere?
No.
Can't buy love, right?
No.
No, you can pay somebody to follow you around and tell them that they love you, but that's not love. And guess what? You know. Can you buy happiness?
No.
Well, that's more complicated. It
Nope.
depends what makes you happy. If you if you wanted to help people, and therefore by spending money, setting up a shelter, for instance,
So now
you
what
could
you're doing
help
is
other people, you would
Yeah.
be buying happiness by spending money to help others, which makes you happy, if you get
No.
my meaning. So it's a bit more
Yeah, I
complicated.
get it. But what you're saying is you're getting happiness by proxy. So happiness comes back to you, but where does it come from? Inside.
Yeah.
You can't buy happiness. You can buy something that makes you feel happy,
Yeah.
but you can't buy happiness.
No.
So can you buy any emotion whatsoever?
No.
Can you buy stress?
No, you can't buy stress.
Can you buy
You
anything?
want to buy that?
Exactly. So where's it all coming from?
In my head.
Who creates every emotion that you have?
My head. Me.
So who can create ambivalence to somebody that is saying a load of garbage?
Me.
Yeah. So if you choose, so here somebody says something bad to you, right? Now, the stuff that somebody said could really realistically sound like this. Blah, 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 blah. It's just words. Just things put into a certain way that mean a certain thing, which is said by an ignorant person who probably doesn't really understand what they're saying and why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Correct? Now, for somebody that you don't care about, they can't hurt you because you have to give them the power to say something to you to cause your emotion to come up. Correct?
Yeah.
So at the point where they're saying it, if you suddenly say to them in your mind, I really don't care. I actually care so little about you that what you're actually saying means absolutely nothing to me. It could just sound like blah, 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 blah. And you can do that in your mind. You just haven't tried yet.
How would you do it?
I just told you. So what I want you to do, right, is as I'm saying this to you, the next sentence I say to you, I want you to play in your mind. La la la, I feel actually quite good about myself right now. Are you ready?
Okay.
I can't believe you've got hair like that. It's just like so 1995. How did you feel?
Funny.
Exactly, but you created the emotion that you wanted. It didn't matter what I said. Because what happens, the way it works in your mind is the words come in, you hear it, and then you translate the words into your thought process, and then you create individually the words that are being said, right?
Yeah.
And I'll give you an instance of this. How many times a day have you told yourself that you're worthless?
Many.
Yeah. Now, a person comes up to you on the street and walks up to you and goes, you're worthless. And you go, whatever, I don't even know you. Right? Barrier. You feel a little bit. Now, how many times have you put that barrier up between your own mind and you? No. It's straight in, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Create your barrier. Get in touch with your mind. We'll do that little breathing exercise quickly, and then I'll leave you with an exercise to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're ready, close your eyes. And then just get in touch with your breathing again. And every breath you have, every big breath out, just relax a little bit more. And as you breathe, just concentrate solely on my voice and your breathing. Nothing else. And just feel yourself relax a little bit more. Notice how there's no stress, no anxiety while listening just to my voice. And now put 100% of your focus directly on my voice. And I want you to put up in front of you the word, I'm good. I am good, in front of your mind. And have them words just accelerate away from you. And they chase after it. Doesn't matter about whatever images come to mind, you're racing after the words, I am good. I am good. I am good. Now as you're racing after those words, start to feel you are good. You feel good. As you're racing after them, you are feeling good. You're feeling better than you felt before. Easy. You feel good. Now just let the words go inside you. And as they do, you can start to feel good. And then bring to mind a beach, whatever beach it is. Could have been a beach from your childhood. You just notice the sounds of the waves, the blue sky, the peace and serenity. And this is the start of your journey. Remember what you think you become. And if that's the case, tomorrow you're going to wake up and the first thought you're going to have is, I'm going to have a good day, no matter what. And I'm going to fight with every single bit of me just to have a good day. And that is the deal I'm setting with myself. Small deal. Just have the best day I can. Not tell myself anything negative. And any negative that I see with this newfound way of watching my own mind, I'll just replace it with something positive. At least I'm not there. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. How was that?
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what happened there? You just relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't think about the future. You didn't think about the past. It was just now, in the moment. So have you now got a tool to stop yourself from thinking with anxiety in the future, and depression in the past?
Certainly try.
That's all you've got to do. If you don't try, you don't succeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's it. All you've got to do is keep trying all the time. The more you try, remember this is what we are, conditioned beings. So condition yourself with a new process. It's going to be a bit difficult at first, believe me, but it's the best thing that you'll ever do. People in depression will fight with everything they got to not be in depression. Agreed?
Yeah.
So there you go. You've got a tool that you can do on your own. Just go quiet. Or there's another one. Just find something that you like looking at and look at it. Simple as that. If you pour every bit of focus into that thing in front of you, guess what you can't do? Think of anything else. I guarantee.
That's mindfulness.
Sorry?
That's mindfulness.
Absolutely. You've only got a mind.
Yeah.
You think you're more than... We've got a mind. If we took our mind out of our body, what would happen? You're dead.
You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Your brain dead.
I can chop your feet off, you'd still live. Legs, arms, everything else would still live. I could take the heart out of your body, you'd still live. Put you on a machine, you'd still be alive. Take your mind out, no world. Simple as that. Your mind is what interprets the information out there. But guess what? Whatever's out there, it doesn't matter. It's how you interpret the information. Because not everybody sees the information the same way, do they? There is no stressful situation. There's a situation that you have deemed stressful. So who put the stress in the situation? You did. Because otherwise everybody would have the same experience in that situation, wouldn't they? Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't care. So it's not the situation. There is nothing external of us that is anything, that is one thing. We have to project into it. We put the love in a person and we take it away. We put the love in a job, we put the love in, we put the hate in, we put everything, we put every emotion into everything. We project into it. Which means what? That's great. Because it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks of us. Because we project into everybody what we think. Because otherwise they would be the very thing that we project into them. And they're not. So start thinking this. You are the projector of everything. You are the projector of you. You project who you want to be. Because otherwise you'd still be 15 years old. And you're not. So, you've got mindfulness. Thinking about one thing only. And if you're having a crap time at work and somebody's getting on your back, do you want to know the best thing that you can do? Excuse me, I've got to... Sorry?
Sorry, I said go on.
Yeah, you just say to him, sorry, I've got to go to the toilet. There's nobody in the Western world that would stop anybody from going to the toilet. You can't do it. Absolutely. So what do? You go in there, you take a minute to yourself and you go, breathing. I can do that. Breathe. Calm yourself down. Put the words in front of you. Something good. I am. And put this up on it. And then something positive. Chase after it. And then become. Needs to be for about 20 seconds. Just be that thought. And you can walk away and go, it's alright. I am bulletproof. The people's... You are whatever you want to be. Otherwise you'd be one thing and one thing only. Actually, you'd be everything that anybody ever said. You're not. You're none of them. You're just a receptor. You're a person that is projecting into you who you are. And that's a really difficult thing to get to grips with. But you'll get there. And the more we talk like this, the more you take on board that you're only what you think you are. And everything that you think you are now. I guarantee that, right? You're depressed because you want to be on a certain level. You don't consciously want to be. Now you want to be out of depression. Because you felt it and it's just like crap. I don't want to be this anymore. Get me out. Am I right?
Yeah.
You're where you want to be. But if you now start putting in different thoughts, what will grow? What will the field bring up? Those thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you plant a seed now that you're done with depression, I'm done with it, I'm done with this, I'm over this, I'm done with it, it's gone, it's behind me. It's kind of there, and it will be there. But plant that seed. Put in that thought now. I'm done with this. I'm done with feeling this crap. And I'm going to take the hard road out and go. That's what you'll become, I guarantee. It can only be that. Your mind.
I've been saying that for months and it's worked for me. And it's just basically just putting all of my past behind me and just moving on and just thinking that my past can't harm me. My future is my future. You know.
Yeah. Tell me this: can you change the past?
No.
No.
Really? Look at
We
it from
can
a different.
change past in our heads, but not.
Absolutely. But so the past doesn't exist. You can't bring it back. But you can change the past in your head. You can put a different context on it. So, Second World War, was it good for the Jews?
No.
Was it good for the Nazis who killed the Jews?
No.
Well, it was to a point until they lost, but you see what I mean? It was,
Well,
the perspective of it is different. It's, everything in life is perspective. At the moment, you are at the bottom of a ravine and you can't see the top. Because
Yep.
you're in detail. You're stuck in the drama that is you. And this is there's a good sort of the path to enlightenment. At the moment, you are the drama that is yourself. By sectioning off that part of your mind and starting to watch the drama that it is, you gain distance. And the more distance you can create from the drama, you start to see the world in a different way. Oh my God, I don't want to be that drama anymore. Too much effort. And then you just cut it loose. You literally have to let go of everything that was ever come you. Any plan that never comes to fruition, everything you hold on to causes you pain. Let it go. Be consciously let it go. You know, I could talk in a few weeks' time. I'll be talking to you on a totally different level, and you'll get it. At the moment, it's not working because it's information over, but you'll get it. And here's why I know, because I treat all different types of people from all different walks of life, and they get it. They start off in the same place that you're. But applying their mind to do it, sowing that seed, it becomes who you are. And that's how I can say that. Believe and succeed. You are what you think. You are everything you think. But the problem with that is, you have to be very, very careful what you think. All the time. Because that's what you are. That's what you become.
I think, therefore I am.
Look up all of them, and they all say the same thing. Every single person in history has argued about everything. Apart from that, you are what you become. You are what you think. I think, therefore I am. Absolutely. That's what it is. We are only this. Our brain digitizes what the world is. That's why if it was the same for everybody, we'd all be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your emotions are yours. Don't give them away. Don't give them away easy. And even if somebody says something that you don't like, don't show them. Don't give anything back. No emotion. You're just like, yeah. And you'll notice it will be like, oh my God, what did I do? But it will work. And then we'll keep doing this, and you'll get better.
Yeah.
And then you'll thank me, or you'll forget, because you're having too good a life.
That would be good. Not to forget, so we could do a good life, I mean.
Remember how bad you feel, because it's the best thing ever. I know it's not the best thing ever now, but looking back at it in a month's time, you'll go, oh my God, I can't believe I was feeling that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished with a client today, and she started off on 16 different tablets, and was told we had fibromyalgia, depression, loads of other stuff. Guess what she's got now? Happiness. She's happy. She's recreating who she is. She's gotten rid of every issue that she's got. and just being happy. But remember love and fear. At the moment you're on the side of fear. Every thought should be of happiness. Don't go for the full-blown love experience at the moment because you won't get it. Just be content. Content is on the side of love. Practice contentment. That is your job for this week. Just be content to just be. And stop looking in. Look out. Focus on something else other than yourself. That's it. Good?
Yeah. Thank you.
Send me an email and I'll send you the first recording of a breathing exercise.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And we'll do this again and regularly. Whenever. Let me know when the next time you can do it, okay?
Yeah.
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.